there. It is September 18th, 2015's weekly wrap-up. Release Step 16 in the Melisma Course. And Step 16 in the Melisma Course is about moving the melismas around in various different ways. Part of something that I do all the time, and it's really no big deal. It's one of those quick things that I do in the morning while I'm getting ready to go to work. As I hum through my bridges and go up and down my registers, then I start singing melismas in various different patterns. And those patterns are things like blues chord progressions, what's known as 1-4-5 chord progressions, or chords moving around in a cycle of fours. All of those things are things that music does pretty commonly. So depending upon what style of music you're involved in, if you're involved in the blues, the 1-4-5 chord pattern is going to make a lot of sense to you. And it's something in the beginning to do anyway. If you're involved in any type of music, the cycle of fours is going to help you out. And so I do that. And when I say I do that, you got to see the lesson. Lesson 16 of the Melisma Course is all about understanding how to take any licks and lines and start to sort of sing and move them around in different places in your range and simultaneously work on them as patterns. Also, a little change that we're going to do here. For a long time, I've always done a YouTube commercial to go along with the lesson. Not going to do those YouTube commercials anymore. Instead, going to simply put up a portion of the lesson, not the whole lesson, but you'll see portions of lessons so if you're even not on the site, you get an opportunity to get a little bit better idea of what the lessons are about. And so in the free previews from now on, when you are looking around on the site, you can just hit the free preview, and instead of seeing a YouTube commercial, you'll see a portion of the lesson that goes along with that particular clip. Now, you're still going to see on free previews, you can't just jump up there and see past lessons that I haven't done before because I did YouTube commercials for those. From this point on, that's the way I'm going to do it. So, something new. Check that out. If you have access to the site, you don't have to worry about that at all. Just bang on the lesson and get the whole lesson and all of the goodies that go with the lesson, meaning PDF files and the audio tracks and things that go along with the lessons as well. So all of that is there for you. So anyway, the Melisma Course, Step 16, that's what happened this week. Also, I'm still having fun, sort of enjoying the aftermath of being involved in the International Music Camp for TotallyGuitars.com. Thought I'd talk about that here in the review a little bit too. Just saw some footage. Again, how I was involved is I was invited to do a couple of workshops to teach all of the guitar players there a little bit more about singing. And the night before before my workshops, also did a little 4 or 5 song concert with my buddy Frank Vieira, who's also on Totally Vocals site when I do my Everly Brothers lessons and things. He's my counterpart to Everly Brothers songs. So anyway, at the music camp, we did a little of that, and I see that there's some footage going around now that you can check out and get an idea of what happened that night as far as the little concert was concerned. I don't know. Anyway, check out TotallyGuitars.com and see if you can see a little bit about the music camp, and you might find some footage over there of me and my buddy Frank singing Everly Brothers tunes the first night at the music camp. So check that out. And a perfect segue from talking about the music camp and things that went on, when I was doing the workshops, I had a few questions. And one of the questions was about reflux. And so I thought that might be reflux and a little bit about vocal health today. I thought might be fun to give you some tips in relationship to the musical tip of the week. So let's talk about reflux for a moment. What is it? Acid reflux, and how does it affect us as singers, and how do we get it? Well, let's start with how we get it. First of all, if you're an entertainer and you're out singing, you're all hyped and jazzed about your performance, and you usually get home late. And what do? You run and raid the icebox and eat late night eating. And if you do such things and immediately go to sleep, crash as the blood sugar goes down after you eat, you can be a victim of acid reflux. And acid reflux simply is the stomach acids that are involved in digestion coming up in some little minute way and getting on your vocal cords and causing havoc. So that can give you a problem. And you know, it's as simple as this. Let's start with the big fix. Don't eat late at night. Go to sleep 2 or 3 hours, even 4 hours if possible, after you've eaten. You won't run into the reflux problem. But let's be real. If you're an entertainer and you're out there singing, you want some food, and you're going to probably eat food late at night, or any of us at one time or another are going to eat late in the evening. So what do? Take some Tums, take some antacids. As simple as that. If you're going to eat late at night, do something that deactivates the stomach acids so it won't burn your vocal cords. Lots of times people don't think that this is actually happening to them. They wake up in the morning and they're all gunky and they're hoarse and they don't understand why. And quite often it really can be reflux, so you got to take care of that. Now, if reflux is happening for another reason, that's beyond my musical tip. You need to see your physician. You need to talk to somebody about that, understand what's going on there and why you have acid reflux. But it can cause havoc to your vocal cords. It is a problem that singers have. So now, the same thing about the Tums or the antacids. Don't make it a regular practice. Don't say, okay, well, I'll eat late every night and I'll take Tums. That would be bad for you. That's not a good thing. But once in a while, late night eating and an antacid to go along with it after the meal, that's not such a bad thing if you're worried about having acid reflux. If you don't have acid reflux, and then, like the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if you're finding that problem, something as easy as some Tums may take care of that problem for you. Now, since we're talking about health, let's talk about some other things. If it adds water to your system, it's a good thing. If it takes water away from your system, it's a problem. So what am I saying? I'm saying anything that depletes water from your system, soda pop, lots of salt, things that have lots of salt in it. Sorry to say this, guys, gals, but coffee, caffeinated coffee, any of the things that deplete water from your system is going to deplete water from your vocal folds. And so we want to keep ourselves very well hydrated. So staying hydrated is an important thing. Again, if you enjoy drinking coffee and it doesn't bother you, well, then it's not a problem. But if it does, then it's something that you have to, again, if you're serious about singing, you need to take a look at. Now, smoking of any sort, again, we all know the long-term effects of what's possibility for smoking. But the short-term effects, even that affects you. You can hear it in a person's voice if they're a smoker. And if it dries out your vocal cords, again, it can be a problem. So, I'm not making any moral judgments here. I'm just telling you what it is in relationship to health. If it depletes water, that's your rule. Anything that pulls water out of your system. Now, back in my college days, I used to, on Fridays, we would have these amazing entertainers come in. Most Fridays, we would have fantastic entertainers come in, perform in the morning for the music department, and quite often do concerts in the evening. I was very lucky at my college to see some great entertainers. And one of the entertainers that, or one group of entertainers that came once was entertainers that were all opera singers. So soprano and alto and a baritone. And they did a little opera skit, and they were fantastic like everybody else who came. And we always got to ask questions after the performance in the morning. And so up went the hand, and they asked the other question that was always asked about singing. What about milk products or cheese products or dairy of any sort? Does it cause mucus in your body, and can that mucus be a problem for you? And the soprano said, oh, I never ever drink milk or anything like that at least a day before my performances, and she was fantastic. And so was the tenor. Maybe arguably the tenor might have been the best performer of that day, of that troupe. And he's kind of smiled and wasn't trying to be mean, but he says, hey, I have to tell you that I had a bowl of cereal and a big glass of milk this morning before I came over here to perform for you guys. And everybody laughed. But that always stuck with me, because when I thought about it, I thought, neither person is wrong. The soprano wasn't incorrect in what she was saying, and neither was the tenor. We are walking test tubes, and we're a combination of chemicals. That's why whenever you go to a physician, the first thing we want to do, they're like vampires. They want to draw blood out of you and see what's going on, because you can't tell from the outside what's going on the inside. So, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Listen, you have to know your own body. If you drink milk regularly, have cheese products, and it doesn't seem to bother your body, and you're not all stuffed up with lots of mucus, well, then you don't have a problem. However, if that does seem to be a problem, then you can test yourself and back off from the dairy products and see if that helps you. So I'm not one who says don't do dairy. I'm one who says check out your own body, understand what's going on, and if that is a problem, that's a place to look. Now, demucusing is a very good thing, and not to be gross here, but it is kind of gross. When you're in the shower in the morning, hawk, spit, get that mucus out of you. The more mucus you can get out of your body when it comes to singing, as far as up here is concerned, the less problems you're going to have on the vocal folds. That mucus does get on the vocal folds. Now, there's some good mucus that's almost like oils in the machinery that gets on your vocal folds. That's natural. But the mucus that clogs you all up and makes you clear your throat consistently, and you feel like if you got junk in you, that's not a good thing. So, also, there are some great benefits to pineapple, and I put an article on pineapple up on the forum quite a while ago. If you have access to the site, go on the forum. I'm not sure if you even need access to go to the forum and look up those types of things, but go through some of the back articles and look at the article on pineapple. It will tell you some great benefits in relationship to demucusing you. So lots of people don't know that. If you're allergic to pineapple, it's not going to work for you. But if you enjoy pineapple, or not a problem, it is something that will help take the mucus out of you. So, a few health tips this week. There they are. And as always, I have a great passion for singing. I love my life in the fact that I get to spend it working with wonderful singers and great people who love the same art that I love. And the same thing here on the site. This is fantastic. I get to spend every week some time with you, sharing with you good tips about singing in various different ways, and talking to you about the latest developments on the site, and it continues to grow. So if you're not a member, come on over and check out all the free stuff that you can get. Start looking at those partial free lessons in the preview, and also sort of scan around the site. You can also sign up for a free membership and get a bunch of lessons for free. So there's lots of things you can do for free, but if you really want to get into singing, there's all kinds of great courses here and all kinds of breakdowns of songs with various singers singing them. So come on over to totallyvocals.com. Oh, one last thing too. I'm going to keep building the song, all of our songs and singers, and I look forward to bringing on some new singers and some new songs, so be on the lookout for that. Going to do bring some female singers on and get some more female songs going as well, so check all of that out. totallyvocals.com. See you next week on the wrap-up.